Hey prospective test takers, welcome to another enriching, enlightening session on vocab building measures by time, the tested leader in test prep. Okay, so if you have been following my sessions, you will know that in my previous sessions, I gave you a lot of inputs on ways to improve your vocabulary and of course, measures to build and strengthen your word power. This is a continuation of my previous session in which I introduced you to root words. So, this session is about strategies and more on strategies. So, let's check what there is in this session. Now, I told you that root words are those words which have been drawn from other languages and they have been incorporated into the English language. They give rise to a lot of words which we mistake as pure English words, but they are not. So basically, root words are those groups of letters that have their origin from other languages, and quite a lot of root words are in the English language. So the English language is not a pure language in itself. Many roots are drawn from Latin and Greek, and the previous video was on some roots that are drawn from the Latin language. This today will help you get some idea of root words that are taken from Greek. So let's take a look and understand things better, and I'm sure that you will really benefit from this session. So students, this is to help you increase your word power, and it is also to show you the direction in which you, if you choose to go, you will be able to remember, recollect and retain words that you come across much more easily. Okay, so please do not forget to like, follow and subscribe to our channel if you have not already done so, because these updates that you will keep getting will really prove to be very beneficial in your test preparation. Okay, so we come to some common Greek roots. Now in the table, as you can see, there are three columns, one for root word, the other for meaning, and the next one for words that are derived from that root. So let's first understand root words. These basically are roots that have their origin in the Greek language, and I have given you a few common Greek root words. So the first of them is the word anthrop or anthropo. Now, anthrop and anthropo is not a, you may be familiar with it. It's not a word which you are unfamiliar with, and it means humankind or mankind. Now, anthropo gives rise to quite a few words in the English language, either by the word alone or a combination of the root word with prefixes, suffixes or other root words. So, one such another very common word is anthropology. Anthropology has two words that are used to make up this word. What are they? One is of course anthropo and the other is logy. So logy basically is a suffix here and it is used to create this word. So anthropo is human or humankind and logy means study. What does anthropology then mean? Now, if we know the meanings of root words and we are able to identify root words if they are present in English words, then it makes it easy for us to recollect. Now, I don't tell you to directly go to the word and try to look for a root that's hidden in there. First, you need to know what a word means and then try to find out whether there is a root word contained in it. In case there is, then the next step is to learn the meaning of that root word and then relate it with the word that it has formed. So, then you will get to know that anthropology means the study of the evolution of humankind. Okay. Another word is anthropophagy. So, what does phagy mean? Phagy, another root word, means to eat. Anthropophagy is a specific term for humans that consume another human being. You may certainly have heard the word cannibal. Now, cannibal basically is a general word. It applies to every member of every species. So, if we have, let's say, a dog eating another dog, then we call that dog to be a cannibal. So, if a member of one species eats another member of the same species, then that member is called a cannibal. Man, of course, could be a cannibal, but a specific term for humans that eat their own kind is anthropophagy or the process, and a person who does so is called an anthropophagite. So once you know the meaning of this word, then you can also learn the inflections of the same word. So this is how root words come in handy to help you increase your word power. Okay, I'm sure you'll agree with me. Then comes in this word bio, and this is also a very common word which we use in our everyday conversations and in the course of our lives. So what does bio mean? It's simple to interpret. Bio means life. We have biology. Once again, logy has been used to create this word biology, which means the study of life forms. We have biography, and we have so many other words which we can identify, think of and consider whenever we come across them, which have this root word. Okay, so this is something again which will help you when you come across that word. Try to look at it a little more closely. Don't just skip over it. Okay, and try to find out whether there is something in it that will help you remember this word. Then we come to chron. Chron means time, and we have chronicle, we have chronic, we have chronology. There are so many words which we can think of which have been derived from this root, which is chron is equal to time. So in your mind, have this equation. Okay, anthropo is equal to humankind, bio is equal to life, chron is equal to time, and in this order if you proceed, it will certainly help you because it will make things quite easy for you. We have Diana. Okay, Diana. Now you can remember this word from Princess Diana if you're not very, happy with the way the words are, and there are so many of them. So it is always important to associate a word or any group of letters to something which will make it easy for you to remember it. So Diana, what does it mean? Diana means power. We have dynamic, we have dynamite. So these are easy to remember this way. Then we have gram. Gram refers to something that is written. So the first thing that comes to my mind whenever I come across gram is telegram. Of course, now we do not have telegrams anymore. I'm sure you all know about it. If not, check it out. Telegram and epigram. What they mean, try to look for yourself so that the word gets reinforced in your memory. Then we have homo. Homo means same. And what are we as a species? We are Homo sapiens. So Homo gives rise to this term Homo sapiens, and of course this is a Latin expression, but homogeneous and homonyms and homophones are so many words which will come to your mind the moment you think of homo and you remember what it means. So when you know homo means same, then homogeneous is something that's consistent or uniform, because in this word rather, there are two root words. One is homo, which is very obvious. The other is gen. Okay. And in homonym also there are two root words. One is homo, the other is nym, meaning name. So gen refers to skill, ability, race, class, etc. And homogeneous refers to something which is of the same kind. That is why gen, which means class, makes sense over here. Okay, so this kind of deduction you will need to do in your mind, but this will certainly make you more logical, and this logic will help you remember words, use them properly, and also, whenever you have a word which has a root word which is familiar, but at times you may not remember or you may not know what that word means, then this root will then guide you into trying to gauge the meanings of these kind of unfamiliar words which you may come across. Okay, so I hope this certainly is something that you will find helpful. We have more of Greek root words. I told you logy already. What does it mean? Study, psychology, and there are so many logies floating all around us. Then we have mis or miso, and it means hate, okay, or hatred. We have misogyny, we have misanthrope, we also have misunderstanding, misconception. So mis or miso, which means hate, or it could also mean wrong or incorrect, gives rise to so many words, and we may probably be aware of the existence of those words. At times we don't know whether they contain a root or not. So this will make you more enlightened. Now, in the previous column, we had anthrop, and I told you we have these words anthropology and anthropophagy. Now, this word misanthrope rings a bell because here again anthrop has come into existence. So, if you do not know the meaning of the word misanthrope, but you know what mis means and anthrop means, then wouldn't it become a little easier for you to interpret or try to find out what this word means? So, misanthrope is a person, a human being who hates mankind. Okay, hate, mis, anthrop, humankind. Misogyny refers to a person who hates women. Then we have nim. Nim means name, antonym, synonym, homonym, etc. Pseudonym. There are so many words that once you have this word in your mind and the meaning of the root word, the moment you come across words which contain these roots, it will flash a bulb. Okay? Phil. What does Phil mean? Phil means love. Philanthropist, philander, philosophy also. So, Phil is love, anthrop is humankind. So, we have misanthrope and the opposite is philanthrope. So, when misanthrope is a negative word, what does it mean? It means a person who hates humankind, who hates other fellow human beings, because phil means love and philanthrop then would mean what? It would refer to a person who loves his fellow human beings or loves humankind in general. So, now by this process, it should be clear to you that it helps you not just in remembering words but also their synonyms and their antonyms. So, isn't it a very helpful tool? I'm sure you would agree with me. We have philanthropist and philander. So, philander is another word for a very commonly used term called flirt. Now, who's a flirt? A flirt is a person who woos many women at the same time or many members of the opposite gender at the same time in today's time. So, a flirt could be either a male or a female nowadays, and this is the Victorian term for a flirt. So, philander is a person who woos another, not just one, but many members of the opposite gender at the same time. Scope means a viewing instrument. Scope is a viewing instrument, and microscope, telescope. So, microscope we all know is an instrument which magnifies things for us which are very microscopic, and so it is helpful in that way, and telescope helps us to see things that are far away. Now, here tele is another word. So, what does tele mean? Tele means something which is far. So, this is that instrument or device which helps us view things that are far away, and a microscope then would mean or refer to that viewing instrument which helps us look at things which are very tiny or microscopic in shape, in size. Well, tele is already come in now. And I've also explained it. Tele means far. We have telepathy and telephone. So, telephone is that device which helps us talk to people who are far away. Phone means sound and tele means far. So, we are able to communicate with people who are far away using sound, and that's why the device is called telephone. Telepathy. Now, here there's another root word, pathos. I'll discuss a few roots with you later on, people. So, please bear with me here. But then this is important. So, let me explain. Tele is far and pathy has come from the Greek root word pathos meaning feelings. So, telepathy is when you are able to know what somebody else is feeling even when that person is at a distance or is far away. And that's why when two people get the same thought, get the same feeling even when they are not in the same place or at the same location, then this feeling or this situation, this is called as telepathy. Therm. Therm means heat. We have a thermometer, an instrument that helps us measure heat, and we have thermal wear which we wear to keep ourselves warm because they give out heat. Now, I'll give you some idea on affixes. first, let's understand what this word means. Because we are in the process of dissecting words and trying to look for those groups of letters that are contained in them, this should help us also do the same with this word which I have right here before you, affix. So, F and fix. So, what does fix mean? Fix means to attach. So, what exactly are affixes? Affixes are words like prefixes and suffixes. Pre is before, okay, pre is before and fix is to attach. So, what is a prefix? A prefix is then a group of letters that is attached to the beginning of a word, and suffix is that group of letters that is attached to the tail end of a word. Okay, now more on affixes. We come to prefixes. I've already told you that prefixes are groups of letters added to the beginning or the start of a word. Now we have a few examples, a few very common examples of prefixes. You certainly know a lot of words that have prefixes. This will help you identify them, focus on them, stop and consider them. So, whenever you have now, henceforth, any word that has a prefix and it is very obvious, please do not just let it pass, pause and then look, try to find the meaning and think up of the meaning, try to recollect what I discussed with you in this video. So, here are the common examples. What are they? Ant or anti. And A-N-T or A-N-T-I mean against or something which opposes something else. So, there are so many words that you can think of with ant or anti, anticlimax, antagonistic. Okay, so remember ant or anti means against. Now, the prefix anti can also be used as a root word at times. When we have a word like anti-government, then it is used before the word government, and government is a complete word in itself. Now, here it is joined with the word government by a hyphen. Then we have a D. It means opposite, and we have words like degrade, devalue, etc. N or M means to make, okay, enable, empower, okay. These are very common words. We come across these words so often. We talk about women empowerment, and in the word empowerment, which is a noun, there is a prefix M. So, now is the time to stop, consider, recollect what it means, reinforce it and then move on. We have for. For means front or in front of. We have four limbs. Okay, so if this helps you, remember this meaning. For is in front of, and we have four limbs which are in the front two limbs of an animal of a quadruple. So, we have for front. We also have a before. In, im, ill and ir, which means not, and they are used in words like indirect, immoral, illiterate, irrelevant. Now, I will discuss prefixes with you in detail because there's so much that is packed in prefixes that makes them so powerful. And once I'm done with that session and you have taken a look at it, you have watched that session, you'll realize how much knowledge that session will have added to you by the time you finish watching it. So, please don't miss that session. It's coming up very soon. Mid is middle, and we have midway. Then we have super or super, which means above or beyond in words like superfluous, superficial, etc. We have trans, which means across. We have transatlantic. We have transparent, transient, etc. Okay, so these are a few words in which we have prefixes being used. Then let's also consider suffixes. What are suffixes? As already discussed, suffixes are groups of letters that are added to the tail end of a word. The common examples are able and able. So, we have able and able, which form the words affordable, transmissible, capable, etc. And it means is or can be. So, capable is somebody who can be or is able to do something. We have AL or IAL, which mean having features of, and there are words like universal and facial. We have ER or OR, which mean more or person connected with, writer, teacher, professor, etc. Then comes in the superlative suffix est, the most, brightest, shiniest, prettiest, fattest, tallest, etc. We have full, which is full of, helpful, joyful, etc. Then ion, tion, sion, and ation, which mean to act or process, submission, transition, addition, relation, etc. There is meant, which we come across in so many words, and it means the act of. So enactment, contentment, establishment, etc. Ness, which means state of, hopeless, helpless, hapless, etc. Then ous, eous, and ious, which mean having qualities of. So righteous, courageous, gracious. Okay, these are a few starters. These should help you move on and try to learn more and more of such words, because now you do know what they mean. Okay, now let's take a look at a question in which there are words which have a lot of root words. So this is the application of your knowledge on root words. The sentence has two blanks. The money system or the financial system is dash because trust is dash. So we need to find out a reason why the money system is what it is. So we have some clue of the money system, and the roots of the options, of course, will give us some idea. Now, the best way to understand what these words mean is to also focus on root words that are contained in them. Okay, each of these options has a pair of words, and each has a root word. So, fragile, transient, robust, malevolent, credible, magnanimous, acclivitus, and beneficial. These are the words in all the four choices. Now, let's first understand what the root words mean. In fragile, the root is frag. And what does frag mean? Frag means something which can break. It is liable to break. Transient, we just came across this, the prefix trans, which means across. Of course, in robust, there seems to be no root. We have a lot of such words also, candidates, where a word may not have any root at all. So, please don't have this misconception in your head that every given English word does contain a root word. As I said, while the English language is not a pure language in itself, it does have words which are purely English, and robust probably is one of them. Then we have malevolent, and the root word is mal. And what does mal mean? Mal means something which is bad or harmful, and it is a negative root word. We then have cred, incredible. Cred means to believe. And we have magnanimous. Now, if you have observed, there are two roots here, and I've mentioned them in two colors. So I have highlighted them in two colors. Mag or magna is one, and animus is another. So magd or magna is something which is large or huge or big in size, and animus refers to mind or spirit. So this word is a combination of two root words. In acclivitus, the root word is cliv, and cliv means to lean. Beneficial has a ben. Ben is the exact opposite of the root word mal, and mal is negative, so ben has to be positive. What does it mean? It means well or good. Now we have the meanings of all these root words that are contained in the words in choices. So the first step is to try to find out if there is any root word hidden in a word. Then think about what it means, and then try to recollect what it means. Not the root word, the meaning of the word in its entirety. What does it mean? So fragile is something which is liable to break, is breakable, because the root word frag means fragile, means to break. Transient is something that is very short-lived. It crosses over to something else in a very short time. So transient is something which is temporary, which is short-lived. Robust is something which is very strong. Malevolent is a bad character. Credible is something which is believe worthy, which you can trust or believe, because cred means believe. So cred, and we have the words credit also from the same root. And of course, the opposite of credible is incredible, which we say incredible India, unbelievable, amazing India. So this is cred. Then magnanimous. Mag means large. Mag or magna means large. And animus is mind or spirit. So magnanimous means large-hearted, being very generous. Acclivitus is something which is related to a tendency. So clive means lean, and if you are inclined towards something, you have a leaning towards something, then the word acclivitus can be used to describe your tendency towards that activity. Beneficial, where ben is well or good, means something that is good or advantageous to somebody. Now let's try to apply the correct pair to complete the sentence. So how is the money system? The financial system is it fragile? Is it robust? Is it credible or acclivitus? Well, it's not acclivitus. This doesn't make sense, so we can eliminate this. Credible is believe worthy. Now, is the money system believe worthy? I don't think so. But if you are in a doubt, let's just keep it aside. Is it robust? Well, let's keep this aside as well. And fragile. Yes, of course, it is fragile because we can't trust it that much. So, these are the three words from the three choices that we have set aside for the first blank. Now, let's move to the second blank to decide what has to be the correct answer decisively. Can we say the money system is credible because trust is magnanimous? Now, magnanimous is not a word which we can use to describe an intangible quality, an abstract noun like trust. We can use this to describe a person. So, for this reason, because the second word of the same choice is wrong, cannot be used to, to fill up the blank, this entire option can be eliminated. Okay. Then the money system is robust because trust is malevolent. One, again, that trust cannot be used, trust cannot be described using the word malevolent, which is described, which is a word which it describes a person more than a tangible, intangible quality. So, malevolent cannot be considered as a proper adjective for this noun trust. Another reason to eliminate it. Okay. So, this helps us eliminate choice 2 as well. Then we are left with fragile and transient. Yes, the money system is fragile. Why is it fragile? Because trust is transient. We cannot trust somebody or something continuously, and it's very temporary. We break trust, people break trust, our trust so soon. So, this becomes the correct answer for this question. Or if you come across these kind of questions, if you apply the strategy I have told you, then you will find it easier to arrive at the correct answer. You will understand why an answer choice is correct, and of course this will help you build on your word power. So I hope this helps you understand the word or the importance of the word strategy. Okay. So with this, I come to the end of this session, students. Please do not forget to like, follow and subscribe our YouTube channel, Time for Education. See you soon. Thank you.